Good morning. My name is Rick White from 180 Biz. We are a coaching and training company for independent auto and truck repair shops. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're talking about intent. Why am I talking about intent? It's because most shop owners, not you, of course, but most shop owners, most business owners, they start with doing, not with intent. Why? Because you're trying to get away from something. You're trying to get away from stress. You're trying to get home to see your family. You're away from the shop for long hours. You got cash flow issues. You got drama with your team. You're feeling out of control. So you start doing things, right? And it feels like progress. Okay. That's the thing. Doing feels like progress, but it really isn't. See, when you're running from something, you don't ever stop to define what you're moving towards. So listen, when you're running from something, which is what most people do, they just start doing something. They see a problem, they do something. And when you're running from something, that's what most of you are doing. You don't ever define what you're moving towards. And that's how you end up really busy, really exhausted, and super stuffed. And it's not because you're lazy. It's not because your team is lazy. It's because you're reactive. I need you to understand something. Reacting creates motion, while intent creates direction. Let me just say that one more time. Reacting creates motion, while intent creates direction. What we're really talking about is the difference between strategy and noise. There's a really great quote from Sun Tzu. He was a Chinese general that lived around 500 BC. And it's one of my favorite quotes. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. See, if your tactics, your actions aren't tied to a clear intent and outcome, they're just noise. Even if everyone is working hard, that's because you're not looking towards where you want to go. You're looking away, turning around and seeing if you're further away from the pain. That doesn't work. That does not work. So listen, as I'm going through this, if this resonates with you, please share it. I guarantee you there are people out there that need to understand and hear this message. Now, what you've got to do is understand that you got to reframe this. Leadership isn't about doing more. It's about creating. Ask yourself this question. What outcome are you trying to achieve? Then you go to strategy. Once you understand the outcome, now you create a plan. What's the best way to move forward to that outcome? Now, understand, I didn't say the right plan. I said the best plan, because what's the best today is you can step back and recognize, hey, that wasn't the best. Let's do better. And that's okay. So then once you understand what the plan is, we got the outcome, we got the plan. Now you come up with the tactics. These are the actions you're going to take that you believe will help you achieve or reach that outcome. That's super important. Now, here's what I really want you to understand. When you set the outcome, you don't measure how you're doing based on your outcome. That outcome is simply a ruler to see how effective what you're doing is. John, you're absolutely right. Keep moving forward. That's incredibly important. What you want to be able to do is measure your effectiveness. How can I get better at what I'm doing? Because as I get better at what I'm doing, the natural outcome is the outcome. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So we have our intent or the outcome. We have our strategy or the plan. Then we have our tactics, right? We're going back to that Sun Tzu quote. Our tactics are our actions. And then we need a way to measure. And we're going to measure what we're getting to what we want and realize the difference. The way we bridge that gap between what we're getting and what we want is by getting better at what we do. But you've got to have the outcome. You got to have something you're moving towards. That's super important. Most shop owners reverse this. Wonder why nothing's working. So why does this matter for your team? Because when your team is only being told what to do, they're going to be constantly waiting for you for instructions. When your team is only being told what to do, they're constantly going to be hanging on you for the next instruction. But when they understand the intent, when they understand the outcome, they can think, decide, and adjust without you because they know where they're going. Intent turns your team into leaders instead of followers. Whereas if you don't have that intent, you don't have that outcome, then what ends up happening is you become the bottleneck. And this is where you feel like you just got these leeches all over you, sucking the life out of you. And it's because you're not sharing your outcome, the intent. So I'm going to give you a really simple application, 3 questions to ask. I want to talk to you about our Pocket Business Genius webinar series. It's like having me in your back pocket anytime you want. It's pretty cool. Now, what are we going to do to change this up? What are you going to do so that you stop focusing on doing and you start focusing on outcome? Before you start doing something new, whether that's the next idea or hiring someone or changing a process, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Number 1, what are you trying to get away from? Write that down. What are you trying to get away from? I want you to write that question down and I want you to answer it. Second question, what are you intentionally going to move towards? That's the second question. And then the third question, how are you going to know when you get there? Remember, tactics without strategy are the noise before defeat. If you can't answer these 3 questions, you're about to create more noise. So here's what I want you to do. If you want less chaos and more progress, stop starting with doing and start with intent. Because clarity always beats chaos. Thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, please share. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. God bless. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.